Live from Chicago, this is Medill Sports Talk. Today we talk about the New York Giants benching Eli Manning, Lonzo Ball and the NBA rookies, and the release of the 2018 World Cup groups. Hello and welcome. I'm Darren Zaslow, joined by Nick Mantis and Jordan Klein. We begin our show talking about Eli Manning getting benched this week against Oakland. Currently 2-9 overall, the Giants are in last place in the NFC East standings. In a 20-10 loss against the Washington Redskins last week, Manning completed only 13 of 27 passes for 113 yards with one interception. Fifth-year quarterback Geno Smith will get the start. Nick, did Eli Manning deserve to be benched by the New York Giants?
No. Absolutely not. And it's sad. I mean, we're talking about a two-time Super Bowl champion, a two-time MVP of those Super Bowls that he played in for your organization, where you're pretty much, Ben McAdoo and his whole staff are setting them up for failure. Now, if you're going to Eli Manning's mindset, if you will, you have no running back to hand the ball off to. And even if I want to sit back there for 3 to 4 seconds, I have nobody to really throw the ball to either because of the fact that I have no offensive line to protect me, for pretty much the whole entire game, to the point of where I'm throwing 7 interceptions in the entire season. And yeah, you said that Geno Smith is the one who's going to be starting, and so he's going to break Eli Manning's 210 game streak. But you're putting yourself in a situation where it really is sad at the end of the day. So,
Jordan, what do you think? Bench Eli?
Yes, because I mean, look, at the end of the day, no disrespect to Eli, but this isn't about disrespecting Eli. The Giants are out of it at this point in the season. So if you're them right now, you have to do what's best for your franchise. And logically, that's trying out as many options as you can at this point in the season for a number of reasons. One, Manning's not performing well. You could say it's because of the offensive line, but if he were more mobile, he'd be able to escape, right? So that's a skill set that he's lacking. He's had the third worst quarterback rating of his career at this point in the season. And also, like I said, you're so far out of the mix right now. If you're looking to try new options, now's the time to do it. And yes, we heard from Phillip Rivers earlier this week. He said that if the Giants are going to do what they should let him at least finish out the season. But at the end of the day, this is about what's best for the Giants in the long term.
That's an interesting point. I'd say a bright side or a bright moment of all of this is the fact that Geno Smith is going to be the first black quarterback to start for the New York Giants, and the New York Giants organization was the last organization in the entire NFL to do so. So, I mean, there's that. Which is good.
What's interesting too is Geno Smith has been looking good in practice. Mm-hmm. We've heard that multiple times from the coaching staff. And also, let me throw these stats out there as well. During his last 5 games with the Jets, completed 64.1% of his passes. That was a best for him. Had a quarterback rating of 107.3, better than Eli Manning's is now. He could be your future starter. And let's say he's not, right? Let's say he performs terribly. Let's say Webb performs terribly. The Giants tank. That means better draft picks for next season. At the end of the day, this is the best move for their franchise.
And we can both agree that Webb is not ready, and that's why they're putting Geno in.
No.
And McAdoo's decisions right now are somewhat irrelevant in that sense because of the fact that McAdoo is going to get fired. We can all agree on that. We're talking about 2-9. They might not win an entire game the rest of the season. Oakland's looking good. We're sitting here in a situation where we're thinking about the future. So those draft picks, number 3 or number 4 draft pick of this next draft, you're looking at either Sam Darnold or you're going to go probably with Baker Mayfield. And that attitude from Baker Mayfield might be a little bit controversial knowing you have OBJ out there as an outside wide receiver. So it'll be an interesting offseason without Eli Manning.
This year, the 2-time Super Bowl champion has completed 62.5% of his passes for 2,411 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. Throughout his career, he has been named the Super Bowl MVP twice and has received 4 Pro Bowl selections. Jordan, has Eli Manning played his last game for the New York Giants?
Okay, so in the press conference, we heard McAdoo say, no, this is not Eli Manning's last game with the New York Giants, but you have to consider it a possibility based on the current direction of their franchise. I mean, look, the NFL right now is moving to a dual-threat quarterback league. I mean, let's look at some of the best guys in football right now in the pocket. You've got Cam Newton and you've got Carson Wentz, who is, quite frankly, an MVP candidate. Both are dangerous in the pocket, have great arms, but they're also both dangerous outside of the pocket. You mentioned Eli Manning is getting sacked quite a bit this season. Sure, it's because he has a brutal offensive line, but if he was more mobile, he could do better.
No, Eli, that's not his type of game, though. I mean, we have to think about the way that Eli Manning came into the game. You got guys like Brett Favre, you got guys like Tom Brady, guys who are going to sit in there and they're really going to chuck it. Now, Brett Favre is a little bit more mobile, so you can have that argument. Tom Brady, the best quarterback to ever play the game, is one of those guys that's going to sit in there, but then when he runs, he literally looks like you're watching a film in slow motion. So we're talking in a situation where Eli Manning is you would say maybe part of that older regime of quarterbacks and of a league that literally stands for not for long. However, the way that the Giants organization is treating him is very disrespectful. And for all of us who want to see the hierarchy of quarterbacks go through the same rung is part of the reason why I don't agree with this move.
When we come back, we analyze the performances of Lonzo Ball and other NBA rookies. Don't go anywhere. This is Medill Sports Talk.